Of all the people that have jumped off the bridge on Davis Street in Seattle, Washington, almost nobody has survived. I am incredibly lucky and grateful to have been given a second chance. After I jumped, after I jumped, my cousin had gone to the bridge to thank the train yard workers that found me and saved my life. What they told her could make anyone tear up. I was the first kid to do it. I was the first one to do it during the day. Happens about 12 times a year. They'd worked there for 17 years, and to their recollection, no one else had survived. As of November 17th, 2025, I've had no suicidal thoughts for 7 years. I'm incredibly grateful, and I just want to comfort others and make them happy. So I don't remember my childhood very well, but that's probably for the better. In middle school, I had extreme anger issues, and I would take a lot of those anger issues out on my family. I would often turn to my favorite singer of all time, Bruno Mars, for comfort. And in fact, had I not had that outlet back then, I don't think I would have made it through that. I loved high school. I was in unified sports, took French, and was part of the Biotechnology Career Academy. Now let's talk about junior year for a second. Junior year, there was a girl that I wanted to be friends with, and she didn't share the interest. I couldn't tell you exactly why it got so sticky for me, but I just could not let it go. And it wasn't bullying, but I think she knew what she was doing. If you can picture constant stress and depression never leaving you alone. On May 4th of 2015, I had gotten into a fight with my parents that morning and refused to go to school. Eventually, I decided to go to school, so I knocked on my parents' doors and asked them to let me uh, pick up my bags. On about a quarter of the way down, I decided that I wasn't going to school anymore. I was going to jump. I got to the bridge. I looked over. I reconsidered it for a minute. I couldn't take it, and so I lifted my left leg over the railing, balanced myself for a second, and before I knew it, I was falling 30 feet onto concrete. There are lots of evil memories from that day and from that hospital stay. I remember the very first day I remember after hitting the concrete is May 8th, 2015, and I woke up and I looked at my dad and he said, "Hey, don't talk. You've got a breathing tube in." Um, Before too long, they removed the breathing tube. So I asked my dad, "Why am I in the hospital?" And initially he refused to tell me, but eventually he told me, and I had no recollection. I talked a mile a minute despite my jaw being wired shut. I broke my pelvis in 3 places and couldn't even. In order to get into a wheelchair, I'd have to have the nurses put their hands under my armpits, pray to God that it wouldn't tickle me, um, count to three, and I would stand up solely on my right foot and pivot into the wheelchair. I also broke my both my elbows. They were hanging off each other like this, and I had a slight fracture in my left wrist. Now let me tell you, I regretted it immediately. I had gone to the bridge several times before and thought about jumping, but things stopped me. But on May 4th, that was all about to change. So a couple of funny stories from the hospital. So I was on pain medicine that was making me hallucinate, and one time I thought that I was a potato farmer, and I was attached to a conveyor belt, and I was kneading the potatoes so that because they were in flour form. I don't know how that's possible, and every now and then I'd ask my dad, "So, Dad, how do you like my potato work?" And he'd say, "Gee, man, you're in the hospital." And I'd say, "I know I'm in the hospital. How do you like my potato work?" Back then I went by Griffin, but these days I go by G-Man. Another funny story. I thought I was with a friend and I was burning pumpkins, and I kept throughout the night. I kept saying to my parents, "So, mom, dad, will you take a picture of these decorative balls that my friend and I made?" And my parents would be like, "G-Man, you're in the hospital." And I'd be like, "I know I'm in the hospital.
Why
Hard
would
on
you just
everyone."
take
I
a
had
darn
so
picture?
many visitors at Harborview. In 2016, I wrote a self-harm / suicide prevention rap called "Suicide Doesn't Work" to get the message out about mental health. And I from there on I started writing my own music, and it has been one of the top 10 best decisions I've ever made in my entire life. I Makes me so happy, and I want to use my story to spread mental health awareness. In 2017, I graduated from high school, and that fall I went to move to a small town called Ellensburg for college. And I've loved it ever since. Yeah, so if you're suffering, or you're going through addiction or depression or whatever, please get some help. All right. Thank you for watching. Take care. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, Bessies. I missed you guys last week. How have y'all been doing? Woo! All right. Yeah, I was not feeling well last week, so I wanted to come, but sadly my tummy said otherwise. So, anyways, yeah. So, to give you the gist, May 4th, to me and my family is not a joke. 10 years ago today, I gave up my battle against the worst depression of my life, and got a chance to turn my life around, and yeah, so I'm here today. If you guys have ever noticed me, I'm wearing these black bands on my arms. That's why it's to help with the pain. Honestly, if there's one advice I can give y'all, it's honestly like we are so much more loved than we even realize. So please don't feel afraid to accept help with me. I think the three things that I regret most about that time are the stubbornness, because I'm still pretty stubborn, but I was really stubborn back then. 2, the family drama that I was a part of, and then 3, pushing away literally everybody that came away. And honestly, like, we are so much more loved than we even realized. And you want to know how I know? It's that even the girl that I was just completely stuck on, could not let go of, tried to stop me. So, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna try my best, but yeah, trying to think if there's anything else to say. Anyways, this is called "I Want to Give You a Big Ol' Hug." I wanna give you a big ol' hug. I wanna give you a big ol' hug. I wanna give you a big ol' hug and see you make it to tomorrow. Let me tell you, I really understand, and I wish I didn't have to write this song, but I wish I'd listened to those who tried to help. So let me ask you, baby, what is wrong? Do I have to rush to your house and look you in the eye, lay next to you and say, baby, you don't have to die? Do I have to trounce on your chest just to keep the beat? Yeah, cause you don't understand. No, you don't understand. Cause I wanna give you a big ol' hug. I wanna give you a big ol' hug. I wanna give you a big ol' hug and see you make it to tomorrow. I wish mental health were better understood. I wish government would fund mental health care. I wish I could be there every second of the day. Cause the world that we live in just ain't fair. I can see the pain in your eyes. I wish I could carry your hurts for you. I will always be there to support you. But sweetheart, you are needed too.
I wanna give you a big ol' hug. I wanna give you a big ol' hug. I wanna give you a big ol' hug and see you make it to tomorrow. Drive you around at 2 a.m. I'll cook food for you. I'll do anything I can to take away your blues. What can I do to convince you to stay? No, seriously, what can I do? Been a long while, staying up late every night. Gonna get you to stay and continue to fight. I wanna give you a big ol' hug. I wanna give you a big ol' hug. I wanna give you a big ol' hug and see you make it to tomorrow.
This is the few last words. Thank you to Carol and everyone else who makes Old School Places. Thank you to all my besties who've been there along the way and just been my emotional support and all that. Thank you to my family for loving me all the way and being fighting for me to get the help that I need. And yeah, let's make it another 5,000. Yeah, take care. Bye bye.